Philippians 4 verse 8 says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." Everyone has cognitive lies that contributes to negative thinking. Have you ever thought you performed poorly during a job interview or a school presentation, but got high grades anyway? You were just fooled by your own mind. In response, you might say, "Impossible. I understand how terrible I was. Thank goodness no one knew." The dance of cognitive lies is once again led by your mind. Recognizing these lying thoughts, however, can help you change them. Choosing more positive, logical thinking can be easier with the help of the Holy Spirit and Spirit-led believers. How are cognitive lies defined? The term lying thought or cognitive lie refers to an exaggerated pattern of thought that is not grounded in reality. In addition to this, there are many other factors that may lead to a negative perception of things. A cognitive lie is a belief you hold about yourself and the world that is false, but which your mind believes to be true. Our thoughts greatly influence how we feel and act. By accepting these negative thoughts as facts, you may see yourself incorrectly and behave incorrectly. The act of telling a cognitive lie is something we all do occasionally. Human experience has this characteristic. Having negative thoughts too often can harm your mental health, and they occur more often when we're anxious or depressed. Cognitive lies can, however, be recognized. Once you have done that, you can reframe and redirect your thoughts so that they do not negatively affect your mood or actions. Here are some traits of typical cognitive lying. Using filters. As opposed to focusing on a situation's positives, mental filtering focuses on its negatives. Even if there are more positive aspects than negative aspects in a situation or a person, you only pay attention to the negative aspects. Let me provide a situation. When it is time for your performance review at work, your manager repeatedly praises your efforts. A final suggestion is made by him for improvement. After the meeting, you think about that one suggestion all day long, and you feel awful. Cognitive lying may make you to have a mentality of all or nothing. Polarized thinking refers to thinking in an all or nothing manner. Thinking black or white and excluding gray areas leads to this type of cognitive lie. Putting your expectations on yourself and others in an all-or-nothing situation can have a detrimental effect on your relationships and ambitions. I want to provide you with this situation. Until your coworker interrupted you, she was an okay person. As a result of this mistake, you no longer like her. Or another example would be, your most recent test resulted in a B, even though you only receive A's, and you believe this is indicative of your poor performance as a student. A black and white approach could also leave you unequipped for success. For example, you have decided to eat healthily. Today, however, due to time constraints, you grabbed a burger and fries. Your healthy eating regimen is gone, and you immediately think you've ruined it. Due to this, you stop trying altogether. With polarized thoughts, everything becomes either or. The complexity and nuance of most people and circumstances might escape your attention due to this. There is also an excessive tendency to generalize. The overgeneralization of something leads to a never-ending cycle of failure and defeat. When you overgeneralize, you use words such as always, never, everything, and nothing. This is how it might look. Your opinions aren't considered for the project during the team meeting. In the aftermath of the meeting, you feel as if you have ruined your chances of being promoted. Your thoughts may be, I will never be able to express myself correctly. It is possible that you overgeneralize what is happening in the world. Another example is if you run a red light on your way to work and become late. You may think there is never a good outcome for you. Minimization is another major characteristic of a cognitive lie. As a result of minimization, positives are discounted. Positive aspects are considered, but they are dismissed as unimportant when you do. When someone compliments your appearance today, you may assume they are being kind. Instead of considering it as special attention, you dismiss it as something anyone could have noticed. In another example, you might think that the potential employer doesn't know your limitations if you perform well in an interview. Making assumptions too quickly is the next trait. Taking a negative perspective on an event or circumstance without providing any supporting data constitutes jumping to conclusions. After that, you make a snap judgment based on your presumption. Here's what a quick assumption may look like. A serious face appears on your spouse's face when he or she arrives home. Without even asking how he or she is doing, you assume that he or she is upset with you. This leads to you maintaining your distance. In reality, you had nothing to do with your partner's difficult day at work. Another way quick assumptions can appear is when you react to a persistent worry or thought, you tend to jump to conclusions. For example, you feel uncomfortable in your relationship. Thus, when you notice your partner acting somber, you assume he or she is losing interest in you. Assuming the worst outcome is the next cognitive lie trait. This is associated with making quick assumptions. Your mind automatically goes to the worst possible scenario in this situation, regardless of how unlikely a scenario might be. This cognitive lie frequently accompanies what-if questions. What if he didn't call after an accident? What if she wasn't there because she didn't want to spend time with me at all? What if I help this person and they hurt me later? Several queries may follow one event. What if I have a flat tire and am late for school or work? Personalization is often the result of cognitive lies. In reality, personalization puts you in control of things you are unable to control entirely or partially. In a cognitive lie, you are frequently induced to feel guilty or to place blame without taking all the relevant factors into account. You might think, for instance, if your partner woke up earlier, you would have been prepared for work on time. Another example, your friend's remarks about his or her parenting convictions are construed as criticism of how you parent. Control blunders are caused by cognitive lies. False beliefs, misunderstandings, and mistakes are fallacies. There are two possible control fallacies: feeling in control of everything in your life and in the lives of others, or feeling the opposite. As an example, consider the following. Your report was due today, but you were unable to finish it. You tell yourself, I knew I couldn't complete it. I am being overworked by my boss, and the office was extremely noisy today. What kind of person could accomplish such a feat? When you do this, you give complete control over your behavior to someone or something outside of yourself. This is a fallacy of external control. In the second type of control fallacy, the belief that you can influence or control someone's life is based on the notion that you can be physically present and act in certain ways to influence or control them. The belief that you can affect another's happiness or suffering is an example. All of their emotions are under your control directly or indirectly, according to you. The fairness check is the final characteristic of a cognitive lie. Those who fall victim to this cognitive fallacy test every action and circumstance for fairness. When it becomes evident that other people do not view the event equally, you become resentful. Therefore, You take disagreements about what is and is not fair personally. As you strive for fairness according to your standards, you may have conflicts with some people and situations. It is important to note, however, that fairness isn't always absolute and can often be motivated by selfish motives. The following is an example. When your partner gets home, you anticipate him or her massaging your feet. After spending the afternoon prepping dinner, it is only fair that he or she do this for you. Your spouse, however, is only interested in taking a bath when he or she arrives. In order to focus on you without getting distracted or worn out, he or she believes it's fair to take a break from the chaos of the day before dinner. Can you get out of a negative mindset? You may not be able to spot these cognitive lies on your own. Seeing them and overcoming them may require the help of an objective person. Pastors, elders, spirit-led friends, or Christian counselors can serve as wise third parties to help you overcome cognitive lies. It is my prayer that God will help pull you out of this negative mindset you are currently in. I pray you will search the Bible for affirming scriptures and find a godly influence to help you to see things in truth.